So what's going to be happening with your character?
Well, moving into season 2, Sarah is, what I can say is that she is pregnant, very much pregnant, and her baby is going to be a big plot point in season 2.
A big what?
A big plot point in season 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
On a show like this, characters can die at any point. How far ahead, do you know if you're not dead?
I don't know. I mean, I think that's one of the great things about our show is that no one's really safe. The stakes are so high, and we're really in these environments where our lives are at risk. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with my character. I hope that she doesn't die. I mean, she's immortal now, so to kill her would be a feat. But it's definitely not out of the question.
Children will do things to you, though.
Sorry?
Children will do things to you, so.
That's true.
So what are some of the biggest challenges for you
in life?
Sarah.
Oh gosh, how much time do we have? One of the biggest challenges in playing Sarah? I would say, I mean, I love all the scientific jargon that we get to say. It's kind of like a secret thing that I love. But it's challenging to play somebody who is as ambitious as Sarah. I mean, I think we saw in season 1 that her morals get compromised to a certain extent in order to advance her career or harbor her secrets. So it's always a little bit challenging playing somebody who's not as idealistic as we want ourselves to be, and sometimes playing the bad guy, so that's a little bit of a challenge.
Now, you said you like the sciencey jargon.
I do.
Were you like a science geek, or were you into sci-fi, or is this kind of a new venture for you?
I appreciate sci-fi. I wouldn't say that I'm a sci-fi geek, but in college I was a pre-med student, so I definitely have an appreciation for medicine and science. And I love it. I love memorizing lines, and it's one of the things I miss about theater. It's just memorizing the monologues. So that's kind of a nice thing about this show is that we do have, significant, substantial monologues. Yeah.
So what do you think about the premise of the show is that there's this virus that makes people, or it's a delivery system that makes people immortal, changes their genetic.
Yeah.
It's probably a bio major or chem major when you were in college. How do you, what are your...
That's one of the things I love the most about our show is that it's grounded science fiction. So there's not too much in the show that deviates from reality, from something that could actually happen. And I love that because it makes it so much scarier because it's not completely impossible. There is a world where these kind of things could happen, and it's not that far from the world that we live in.
So after one season, are you a little bit more paranoid now?
Super paranoid. Definitely wash my hands, at least 5 times a day. Yeah, I mean, I would say not necessarily more paranoid, but just more conscious of viruses that are going around. When I was in Kenya, I got malaria, and that was the most terrifying thing of my life. So it's so real and it's so scary. So definitely much more aware of that now.
I'm surprised you're not here in an orange jumpsuit.
I know. I wanted to come in the biohazard suit.
We gotta get some footage of you quick.
Yeah.
So it's an intense show, but what's fun about playing this character and being on this show?
The funnest part about this show is it's the people that I get to work with every day. We have such an amazing cast and crew. Billy Campbell he's the best. He's as lovely as he is talented, and everyone makes it a joy to come to work every day. Yeah.
Did you go to Kenya on vacation?
No, I've been going down to Kenya. I've gone several times in the last 5 years, working at an orphanage down there. Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. My mom has been supporting an orphanage in Kenya, in Kisumu, Kenya, for the last 6 years. And I went down the first time 5 years ago and just kind of fell in love with the country and the people. And so yeah, I'm definitely missing it. I'm due to go back. I haven't been back in just over a year, so it's a mission to get back there.
There's viral scares there.
Certainly.
Ebola in Africa.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, in Uganda, and it's terrifying there because they just don't have the means to treat the illnesses that are down there. So when I got malaria, I was fortunate enough that there was a doctor who was working at the orphanage, and he was able to get me antibiotics right away. But for a lot of people, it's just not really an option. Yeah. Sorry to take a dark turn, guys.
After playing an immortal, has it made you think about, well, balls, what if you could live forever? Is that like something you ponder and be like, well, what would I do with all my time now?
You know what? I haven't actually thought about that. That's really interesting. If I was immortal, I don't know. I don't think I would want to be immortal. I think I think that the worst possible thing that I could imagine would be to watch everybody that I love die. I think that would be awful. Having said that, I think playing a character that's immortal is pretty cool. Yeah.
Job security.
Yeah.
We're going to explore show her explain some of the consequences of immortality might come up in season 2.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
I wish I could, but I don't know. They don't tell us anything. I wish they did.
Tell.
I know that I don't even
you
know.
don't tell you.
They don't tell me anything. Probably because they know I would tell you guys. I think. I think that's a smart move on the writer's part to explore the consequences of immortality. I mean, it's just such an interesting concept, and it's interesting to see characters that you think are kind of perfect, and then see their flaws and where the cracks start to break open. So hopefully, we have myself and Julia, who are now both immortals. So hopefully we'll see those two get into some trouble.
So what did you think when you picked up that script and you read the fact that you were going to be an immortal character?
I was super happy. I was like, great, they can't kill me now. I think I was really excited. I think it was kind of stressful playing a character who was who had cancer and whose fate was kind of determined, and then to kind of get that wild card was super relieving. Yeah.
What moment from the first season surprised you most?
I think when Daniel dies, that was really surprising to me. But I think they did it in a great way, and the actor who was playing Daniel is so fantastic, and he did a great job.
Paranoia has been, a classic sci-fi theme.
Yes.
And conspiracies as well. And in the 50s, we have the fear of the nuclear bomb, and then we have the viruses. So what do you think is that now? Because everything is virus, whether it turns you into a zombie, whether it turns you into another being, it's always virus nowadays. So what do you think is that?
I think it's like we were saying earlier, the fact that it doesn't escape that realm of possibility. It's something that is so close to being possible to happen that's what makes it even scarier. And also it's kind of a humbling concept. As humans, we are susceptible to viruses, and our lives are a lot more fragile than sometimes we give them credit for. So I think that's why it's such an easy vehicle to use, the viruses, for so many great science fiction shows.
So where do you see the tension between Sarah and Julia in season 2?
I think Sarah and Julia definitely bonded at the end of season 1. Obviously, Julia saved Sarah's life, so she is forever indebted to her. I think that there may be some unsettled tension, but there's definitely not any cattiness or anything, and that's kind of one of the great things that we did with the love triangle, that we didn't give into that kind of petty two girls fighting over one guy thing.
It's great to see, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So hopefully we'll see. I mean, something I love working with Kara. She's an incredibly talented actress. So hopefully our characters will have something going on in season 2.
Maybe an immortal fight scene.
Maybe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe an immortal fight scene. That would be a pretty fun thing to shoot.
All right.
You can't have a fight to the death, though.
No, it's true. It would never end.
As an actor, how far ahead do you get the scripts? And then, like, season, where are you at, like, just in your knowledge of season 2 so far, script-wise?
I've only read one episode.
Just the first one? Okay.
And I literally got it yesterday. So not that far in advance. Yeah, it's kind of one of those things. We just kind of get it when we get it, and
right. I mean, would it be? I would assume that'd almost be beneficial, especially in this kind of show, to be surprised.
Yeah,
like, closer to.
I love it, and also, you know, when you get something really far in advance, you kind of risk overanalyzing everything and getting too much in your head. So it's a pretty good system that we only get it, you know, a week or two before you start shooting. Yeah. I wish I knew more though for you guys.
No
problem.
The inside. Thank you so much.